Okay, guys, Rooster here in Tennessee looking at a blast from the past. This is the Galaxy DX99V. Excuse me, and I was fortunate enough to come across this guy the other day. I actually found it in what some people would probably consider the most unlikely of places. I went down to the Huntsville Hamfest in Huntsville, Alabama, bought a few items down there. I didn't buy a ton, but I did come back with an armload of items. I had an armload of stuff myself, and had the girlfriend loaded down as well. So we got some good equipment out of there. In my opinion, probably not a lot of ham operators' opinion on that it was good equipment, but nonetheless, it wasn't all Yaesus, Icoms, Kenwoods, Johnsons, Heathkits, Collins, all that. You do have some stuff down there that is good for the everyday CB operator, such as this Galaxy DX99V, which is in excellent shape. I found myself pretty lucky to come home with it. No, this was not a $50 radio. It wasn't a $100 radio. I won't say what I paid for it because I may sell it, I may not sell it. I bought it with the intentions of keeping it, simply because I don't think I'll ever find another 99V that is in this nice a shape. It looks like it was used in a base. It's not scuffed up at all, doesn't have any scratches on it, no holes drilled in it, nothing of that nature. So probably the cleanest DX99V I've ever had. Brought back some memories of 15, 20 years ago when these things were in their heyday. What I like to call the double-digit series Galaxies, with the 99V being the Mac Daddy of that series. You had the 33, the 44, 55, 66, many times forgotten, the 73V, 77 HML, I think it was called, for high, medium, low, 88, and then the 99, which is in front of us right now. Now, I believe some of the earlier ones had the brushed aluminum face on it, but I don't really recall. It is a dual final radio, so back in the day before you had all these crazy radios that people were, these manufacturers were putting amplifiers in them using MOSFET finals. This was considered the powerhouse radio. Dual finals, 2312s or 1969 finals in it. And when they're really peaked out and tuned within reason, you'll probably expect anywhere from 40 to 60 watts PEP out of one of these, and generally around 18 to 25 watts average max. I don't think I've ever seen one do over 25 watts. Generally around 20 to 22 watts average. But lots of features on them. I mean, like I said, this was the premier radio back in that time, the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Before you started having radios that would do 600 watts. One of these was the top of the line, and I've owned several of these. Had one that I can remember in particular that I wished I didn't sell, and God, there's some radios I sell, and I'm like, man, why did I sell that? I wish I had that back. It wasn't worth the money to sell it. I'd rather have the radio than the money. And I have 199 that I can remember that was like that. So when I saw this one, I'm like, damn, I got to get that thing. That is a nice 99. I'll let you guys take a look at it here. I mean, it is in immaculate shape. Looks almost brand new. And like I said, I'm not married to it. I would sell it, but it would have to be for the right price. You would have to really want it more than I do. I'm not going to go crazy and say $500 or anything, but it would have to be for a good price, because I just don't see any more 99s out here in this kind of shape. The only mods that I can find that have been done to this one, somebody put a talkback switch in the back.
Check, audio, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, audio.
Because I believe it was like the 66, if you turn the echo on, the talkback turned on. So you need a separate switch to isolate the two. And then obviously it's been converted. But when I picked it up, it was way over here and it was on sideband. So obviously a ham operator using it. And the circumstances I got it under, I bought it from a ham operator. It belonged to this guy's brother that was also a ham operator, but he had passed away, unfortunately. So he was selling some of his stuff. I believe he said it was going to help with the funeral and everything. Maybe he didn't say that. Maybe I'm just making that part up. But he did say it belonged to his brother had passed away. I can't remember if he said the part about the funeral or not. But anyway, that's the story on it. So that's where it came from. Like I said, I don't think anything's been done to it because the power output I'm seeing is pretty daggone low, especially on average power. It seems like it's basically stock. So with that being said, we'll get into it. Show the output of it. You know, the features are pretty plain to see across the front. One that probably sticks out is the notorious robot voice. Radio check, radio check, radio check, radio check. You know, if you've probably heard that, well known to CB Rambos across the world. But the radio's got a really good sound to it. You see the mic gain's wide open. That's another indicator that this radio has not been modified, because if it had been running the mic gain wide open, even with a Superstar, it would be extremely overmodulated, and it actually sounds pretty good.
Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, audio check, check, check.
So I could probably adjust the echo and make it sound better, but a good sound radio. I'll show you what it's doing. We'll get the video wrapped up. Like I said, I'm not trying to sell this one. I would sell it for the right price, but I'm not really trying to sell it. So RF power is all the way down. We'll check average power. Looking at the middle scale. Make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, so they've got this thing taking 4 watts all the way down. Hello. Swinging like 8 watts average. It'll show good PEP. Guaranteed it'll show high power on PEP. Check, check, audio, check, check. Yeah, it's showing like almost 50 watts PEP. So where it's lacking is the average power, which that's a good indication it hadn't been modified, because these will straight get up on average. They'll do a lot of peak power and a lot of average power when they're modified. Wide open on a dead key now. 15 watts, so I definitely would not run it that high. Hello, audio. It's just barely pulling forward. Go back to PEP. Hello, audio, check, 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 audio. Still swinging 50. So, don't think it's been modified, but that's it. A very nice example of a Galaxy DX99V. If you find one of these used, and you can find it for a reasonable price, and it's not beat all to hell and hasn't had a million fingers in it, I highly recommend them. They're hard to find in this condition. I actually recommend all of the older Galaxies if you can find them in good shape. The 88, 77, 73, 66, all good radios. That's not knocking any of the new ones, but I just have a, there's just a, guess I've got a sweet spot in my heart for these older Galaxies. Notorious, channel 13 on the old Galaxies is notorious for having some static interference on it. Just about all of them I've had, the 99s and 66s anyway, have had that noise on channel 13. Just a side note. That's it, guys. Galaxy DX99V. Like I said, I would sell it. Not trying to sell it, but for the right price, I would let it go. Probably regret selling it if I do, but hey, it is what it is. Rooster in Tennessee, questions, comments, shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Catch you guys out there. See you, bye.